Please, a warm Moth welcome for David Montgomery, everybody.
So ever since I was a kid, I was always hungry for something that I could never have. Back then it was steak and shrimp when all we could afford was ketchup bread. But I know it's bad. As I grew up, my taste evolved into something much more unattainable. It became this unrealistic, unattainable romantic movie love, that hunger for the affection of that one perfect lover, that craving for just, to hold their hand, maybe forever, I don't know. And that unbelievable pang to just adore and be crazily adored in return. I'm in love with my personal trainer. The story I always wanted to tell our grandchildren is that, like, a long time ago, 12 months ago, I joined a gym and I saw this guy there, but not any guy. This guy, this beautiful tan Adonis, he was so muscular, so built, he was like wider than he was tall. And I find out he's a personal trainer, and it totally adds up. And now, all of a sudden, he's unattainable in even more ways. Not only is he way out of my league, not only is he obviously heterosexual, now he's also very expensive. If you've ever heard me tell the story before, you'll know that I don't make any money. So I know that I can't have him, and I know what I can do is to go on Facebook and post my adorable musings day in and day out about every time I cross paths with my gym husband. And it got a whole bunch of likes, so clearly this is love. So in reality, I had reached my own fitness goals on my own, and I needed help to kind of Chuck Norris this thing to the next level. So I thought it over, and I decided I was gonna allocate some funds, and I was gonna make this thing happen. I was gonna get a trainer. And it's a huge price tag, so I was like, it's only gonna be worth it if it's actually him. So in the least creepy way that I can muster up, I go in, and I'm psyching myself up, and I'm shaking like a fucking leaf, and I go in, and I'm like, hi, I want to have a trainer, and I will not be satisfied unless it is you. And it actually worked. I was like, seriously, I want to have a trainer, and it has to be you. No homo? Yes, homo. I'm like, seriously, no, it's totally cool. It's just a couple of dudes working out together while one's counting the other one's reps or whatever. And the other one is picking out baby names. So I get signed up. It actually worked. He believed me that our relationship goal was strictly professional. And so I get signed up, and then I find out his last name, and now I can Chuck Norris our relationship to the next level. So I look him up on Facebook, and I'm horrified to find out we have mutual friends that have been charting this whole thing this whole time. It's not as bad as it sounds. But so I get a hold of one of them to see how bad this is, and she goes, wait, that's your gym husband? Oh my God, Dave, you're gonna love him. He's so sweet. He's such a good guy. And I'm like, I know that already from my imagination. And after our first session together, he told me, this is a direct quote, he said, you're stronger than you look. And after I changed my underwear, I realized that this was the beginning of a beautiful thing. This whole Sam and Diane vibe was gonna be enjoyed by everybody at the gym. It was amazing. And so, but in reality, we worked together so well as student and teacher. The months were flying by. My body was looking better every fucking day. It was looking so good. I felt so great about myself. And I'm not gonna lie, it did not hurt whenever I'd have the wrong form or whatever, and he'd have to put his giant Incredible Hulk hands on me to correct it. I'm like, oh man, why is this happening? And but then after a while, he got really personal with me, and he starts asking me these questions like, got any big weekend plans? I'm like, oh my God. And then he's like, hey, is it as humid as they said it is outside? I'm like, oh my God, this is like couple stuff that's happening right now. This is amazing. And then around the time of our 6-month imaginary anniversary, I got a phone call from my gym, and they said that my personal trainer is no longer employed there. I know. And I was devastated. I'm like, what am I gonna tell our imaginary children? I mean, Muscle Jr. looks up to his daddy so much, and he's too little to know what a divorce is. So I texted him and I said, like, what happened? He said he was fired without merit. He didn't know, he didn't have an explanation. So I'm like, I'm gonna stand by my man. I walk in right after work, And I like fight my divorce. I bitch out his supervisor. I swear at the district manager who happened to be there, who was so belittling, by the way, about not letting me out of the contract. He's like, oh, that's like if you have a car, right? And you don't like the car anymore, so you're like, I don't want to make any more payments. I was like, wow, cool simile, bro. But it would actually work if they took the car away from you in your story and they replaced it with a broken unicycle. Because like that's what the rest of your trainers are to me, a bunch of fucking broken unicycles, you idiot. He apologized for the weak analogy, but he couldn't bring back my husband, and he couldn't stop the payments from accruing. So after my divorce was finalized, I invited him via text to happy hour. I said, I'd like to treat you to happy hour as like a small token of thank you for like all the help that you've given me. And he saw the text, and he read the text, and he didn't respond to the text. And it hurt a lot. It really did. We actually were kind of sort of friends-ish. And it did, it hurt a lot. And I was thinking about it. And I was like, maybe he's just gonna show up unannounced and like bench press me at the bar in front of everybody. I was like, really? Maybe he like, I don't know, maybe he typed something out that was really, really sweet and forgot to hit send. I lied to myself. But he never showed up. And looking back on the whole thing, I thought to myself, would I ever do this again? Would I humiliate myself like this again? Probably. But is it better to have loved and lost something that was never yours and probably never could have been? I don't know, but my advice to you guys, if you're hungry for something that you can't have, don't sign a contract with a fitness sales rep just to get their attention, because it's not gonna work out for you. One, they're gonna never stop billing you, and two, that's feasting on scraps, and you're gonna end up hungry at the end of that meal. When you're hungry for something you can't afford, if you want steak and shrimp and you can't have it, fill up on something within your grasp, even if it's ketchup bread. Thank you so much.
David, everybody.